एक पैरासिटामॉल सबके लिए काम नहीं करती है. So if there's one therapy, one thing, it won't work for you, it might work for somebody else.
How do you see the chat GPT and the AI kicking in? Going forward, do you think that the role of therapists would be reduced? People with OCD are sometimes glorifying it, but they fail to realize that ultimately it's a disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder. There was one more hurdle which many people face, and that is the cost associated with the therapy.
First of all, it cannot be measured into cost. You cannot ever measure a service with its cost, right?
Is it safe to say that most of the people who visit you are from the IT background? तो scribble वाली एक exercise थी. Was that a usual scribble or it was a random? Hi Sarika,
Hey, hi Akash.
how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm good as always.
Okay.
कॉलेज के बाद नहीं, स्कूल के बाद अभी पहली बार मिलना.
Yes, स्कूल के बाद अभी मिल रहे हैं. It's been long time. I suppose 2004 we ended school.
हाँ.
हाँ.
Yes.
It's 2025 here.
25, more than 20 years.
More than 20
हाँ?
years.
हाँ, you have changed a lot. मुझे याद है स्कूल में थोड़ा ऐसे छोटू सी पोनीटेल बना के.
We both have grown a lot. It's a better idea.
So, how is everything?
Uh,
Work, family.
Everything
You
is
have a,
great in one shot.
you have a lovely daughter.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So, yes, everything is great, and I am just involved nowadays in a very fulfilling, mission of my life, what I can say, for what I have been invited here today by you. This is mental health. So, I'm really on this mission to spread awareness and resolve mental health concerns around me, whomsoever I can help. So, yes, life is very fulfilling these days.
Okay, so you are getting so much of I should say accomplishment, a sense of accomplishment or a sense of I think when people work, they more than money or fame or whatever you can call it. At the end of the day, when you go to the bed, you feel like I have done something today and I've learned something today. But you are in a profession where you can say you have helped someone today, right?
It seems very purposeful.
Huh? So that sense of purpose, achievement of that purpose that comes to you.
Definitely, it comes. It gives immense level of satisfaction, purposefulness, sense of like we all ask ourselves at some or the other point of time, what is my purpose? Why am I living? Why have I been sent on earth? So I don't say this is the only thing, but somehow whatever I did in life, I found a purpose here as well.
There are many myths about people don't know the difference between psychiatry, psychology, mental health coach. So what exactly you do? What should we call you?
Okay, so the very first line I would define myself, I am a mental health worker. All these are mental health workers, right? Now, psychiatrist is something who is a doctor by education as well. Okay,
So they prescribe
they
medicines.
have this license, should say, to prescribe medicines. They have been educated that way. Yes, a psychologist is somebody who is not really a doctor. He does not hold a doctor title exactly. He holds the title of a psychologist or a psychotherapist.
Okay. So that is more related to a therapy.
Therapy related thing rather than prescribing medicines. He does or prescribes therapies to you.
So you prescribe
Therapies.
therapies.
I make them do it. I prescribe. I help people in that way.
So you fall into the psychology
Psychology
space
space, yes.
rather than the psychiatry space.
Correct.
Okay, so there has been like I wanted to get in touch with you and talk to you about the mental health thing because nowadays it is becoming like really prevalent in especially the IT world, there has been a lot of buzz around work-life balance, and people are like starting to talk more on the work-life balance now, especially after mm when the after COVID, when the things streamlined in a way where people were working from home, and people were believing that they are doing more work than they were doing when they were going to office. And some people have gone up to an extent saying that the companies have got the chance to extract more from us, seeing that we don't have to travel and all. So people have got into this belief of getting their mental well-being tampered, and they are going and consulting psychologists for mental well-being. So this space is also growing, and this problem is also growing. So do you believe that this problem was there previously also but was neglected, or it has grown over these 4 5 years a lot?
Okay. That is a really important thing that you are discussing, number one, because every one of us who is working day and night into corporates or anything, some or the other way he or she is going through this thing. So your question is in two parts. I'll answer in two parts. Number one, was this problem before also? Excuse me. Was this problem in the past as well? So yes, this problem has always been there. It has been overseen, I would say. अभी क्या है, बिकॉज अच्छा वाई हैज़ इट बीन ओवरसीन, बिकॉज ऑफ द माइंड सेट वी ऑल आर कमिंग फ्रॉम, टॉकिंग अबाउट आर पेरेंट्स, दैट जनरेशन, वी डेंट हैड दैट माइंड सेट कि ये प्रॉब्लम भी रियल हो सकती है. Secondly, has it grown? Yes, it has grown. You pointed out a very good event of COVID. So what happened during COVID was कि initially it was a very clear line, a clear boundary between work and home. It rarely happened then also that people were working from home, but then home means home. You don't have to work generally from home, right? अभी क्या है, COVID में everyone was at home, so that line, that boundary got blurred down. So when people were home, they were working. अभी ऑफिस तो शुरू हो गया, बट व्हेन पीपल आर इन ऑफिस दे हैव टू वर्क एनी हाउ. बट व्हेन पीपल केम बैक होम, वो कोविड ने सिखा दिया कि घर से भी काम करना है. Not just the people were working, but also their bosses, the managers. They were also known कि घर से भी काम कर सकता है ये बंदा,
सकता है.
तो करवा रहे हैं, ठीक
And
है.
even the clients realize that
Exactly.
buying such a big office space is not actually required. You can get the work done, and then there were companies which opened up with remote work opportunities. But as an individual, as a office goer, I would say, or as a IT employee, I would say that sometimes going to office is necessary. I would not use a strong word like necessary, but I would say that I like going to office. Um, I don't want to go to office all the 5 days, but then there should be a day where I should feel like, I don't want to go to office. I will be. I can work from home, and maybe like if there is something which I can work on my own today, and that work is not dependent or not to be done from someone else, I would prefer to be home and get it done, especially the Fridays where I would like to finish my work early evening and have rest of the evening for myself. So that kind of flexibility has come. But do you think that flexibility has brought a work pressure to few of the not few to many of the employees working, and they feel exhausted? Not everybody is able to finish their work on Friday evenings, early evenings. People are extending till 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, even late midnights, and then Saturdays and Sundays. Most of the companies, they have releases on the weekends, so the people get dragged inevitably to the weekend. So that is the flexibility is bringing in the it is affecting the mental health. As is it a thing that we should believe?
Look, the thing is, we cannot deny the fact that the world has become more competitive now, irrespective of the fact that people are working, have the opportunity to work from home or not. That is one factor, but it is entirely different. They should be seen separately. अगर ये नहीं भी होता, कोविड नहीं भी आया होता, if people wouldn't have known that they can make their employees work from home as well, still the world was competitive. It is growing competitive day by day. So anyhow, the deadlines are getting stretched. But yes, it came as an opportunity for the clients or the work to be done, that okay, the employees go home and they don't have to just rest or spend family time at home. They can also work if we ask to, because they have been working this way for past 2, 3, 4 years whatsoever.
So, do you think working abruptly, maybe on Saturday, Sundays, or Fridays, logging off and then again logging on at a abrupt time, just on a phone call, that has been happening with a lot of people lately. So you were saying that the world is becoming more competitive and things are, coming randomly. Is it something that affects mental well-being of people and they don't get to know about it later in time when they consult a therapist or a specialist? Maybe they get to know.
Of course, it does contribute. It is just like you brush your teeth daily, correct? Why do you brush your teeth daily? You can brush it even once a week. तब भी साफ हो जाएंगे. But then you need to you know उस residue को you need to clean on a daily basis. This exactly happens with our brains, with our minds. We need to declutter our minds on a daily basis, periodically, not just once a while. What we do is, हमें जब वेकेशन मिलते हैं हम एक बार कहीं चले जाते हैं just to declutter. I mean, I am not saying कि go daily, but then there should be some or the other way to declutter periodically, every day. Rather, you are logging off maybe on a Friday night. On a Saturday morning, you are again logging on. If a weekend has been made for you to relax, why don't you relax? I'm not blaming anybody, why don't you relax? But then I understand the system has been like that people are not able to relax. Somehow, you are telling me that you shut down your laptop and you log on again maybe another morning. But does it really happen? जब तक आपका लैपटॉप लॉग ऑफ मोड में रहता है, are you not thinking about work? I believe you are thinking about work then also.
Exactly. So that brings me to a point ki when people say that they want to be competitive and they want to give their 100% or more than 100%. So you give your 100%. I'm not against, giving 100%. Even at times everyone, they give more than 100%, but at the cost of your mental well-being. So how far is that sustainable? Or was it there before? And coming back to our original question, it was there before, but it was neglected, or you think it has increased more from the past? And or to put it in another way, um, has there been more of a buzz rather than the actuality?
No, that is the reverse case, I suppose. It is good that the buzz has been created. Mental health issues have always been there. But the awareness, the buzz has not been there, and I'm happy that there is a buzz now. And if you talk about the 100% thing, what is 100%? When people were working 7, 8 hours a day, it was 100%. Now people are working 15, 18 hours a day, that is 100%. Or if people start working 24 hours a day, would that be 100%?
100% depends from how the individual thinks it to be. So I might have my 100% as a 12-hour thing, you might have a 15-hour thing as your 100%. That obviously depends. But then when we talk about it, the capacity of the brain.
I should keep it like not 100%, but the optimum value, right? Whatever maximum you want to give, not that you can give, because the world is operating in this very way that what maximum as an employee you can give, you don't have a choice. Rather, you should be the sole decision maker what optimum value, time or effort you want to give to work. and where else would you like to utilize your brain or your time, with your family, with some sport, or just sitting alone? That should be in your hands.
Okay. So, coming back to the impacts that happen to the brain when somebody is diagnosed, or maybe let's say we'll go to the diagnosis part a little in just a bit. Let's say somebody comes to you and they tell you that they are in a. So, what do you think, and what would you like to tell people? What exactly is mental health? What exactly is mental well-being for people? Let's say I don't exactly understand. When I hear the word mental health, I understand, okay, it's something related to my brain, which is not in a good condition or something. But if I ask you, how would you describe a mental well-being?
Okay. So, it can be defined in a very similar manner as physical well-being. Physically, जब आपको लगता है कि everything is working fine, nothing as such is happening which is not okay, और मैं अपना डेली की सारी चीज़ें कर पा रहा हूँ with full efficiency, that is a good physical health. Similarly, a good mental health is जब आप पूरे दिन के सारे काम कर पा रहे हैं, not just काम, whatever you want to do, if you want to enjoy, if you want to watch TV, if you want to play something, anything, आप उसको कर पा रहे हैं. Whatever you are thinking is in your control, not that just one or two specific thoughts are hindrances to your all day. Mentally at times हम सब exhausted feel करते हैं, but then if it goes long enough to hinder your daily things, maybe your relationships, maybe your sleep, if you're not able to sleep, that is one thing you should notice.
Okay, so before you classify, I mean, how do you classify the problems which come under the mental health space? Um, Overthinking would be one vertical.
I'll tell you. So mental health concerns, they're very diverse. Some are very, should say, serious issues. I'll start right from children or childhood. They come under clinical settings. Matlab, the treatment comes under clinical settings. They can be like maybe ADHD, autism.
So, from the number of people that come to you for consultation, how many of them have reported this issue of low self esteem or a low self confidence or a overthinking problem if they fall in the same dimension or the space?
So, look, the people who visit me from this background, working IT professionals, I would say more than 50% of the people have some or the other kind of issue related to overthinking or self confidence, low self confidence, should say.
I'm happy that I was not, one of the few who consulted you for the same.
Actually, this is a very real thing you are talking about, because most of the people think around these lines that am I the only one? और इसके लिए वो कभी reach out ही नहीं करते.
That brings me to the stigma attached to not reaching out to a therapist, because when we were growing up, especially then and over the years, there was this thing that if I consult a therapist for my mental issues, I would be called as a mental पागल है टाइप्स है ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम है इसको एंड दैट इज़ वाई पीपल डोंट रीच आउट टू अ थेरेपिस्ट सो how do you solve this problem? Obviously you make it confidential, that I get it because I have had a session with you. So when somebody comes to you and they're not able to open up to you, obviously it might be difficult, especially for men, because of the gender bias. But when they're not able to talk to you, how do you like make them comfortable and make them talk more? What is your go-to thing?
Okay, so I'll take it from, I'll step back a bit and answer your question. number one, you are right that there's a lot of stigma around this. So why don't we think in this way? I would like to say this to you as well as whosoever is watching this. Why don't we think it in that way that in today's world, जैसे हम fitness coaches के पास जाते हैं, you know, we go to some studios, some gym, some Zumba, anything for our fitness. Why don't we take it in a similar manner for mental fitness? हम mental fitness coaches के पास भी तो जा सकते हैं. And those are none other than these mental health workers like me. So, abhi, when we are talking about stigma has two layers here. One is the cultural layer, या societal layer you can say, जो society ने बना के रखी हुई है, and other is the personal one. Society, as you already said, कि you know कुछ problem है, पागल है, और sign of weakness लगता है.
Right.
एंड पर्सनली भी दे फील लाइक इफ़ आई रीच आउट फॉर माई ओवर थिंकिंग क्या है, क्या मैं ओवर थिंकिंग भी हैंडल नहीं कर सकता या कर सकती? तो उनको खुद भी क्वेश्चन करने लगते हैं कि क्या मैं ये खुद की हेल्प नहीं कर सकता कि मैं थेरेपिस्ट के पास जाऊँगा? इट इज़ नॉट लाइक.
Exactly. Even I have been thinking that overthinking. I think बहुत सारे लोगों की प्रॉब्लम है. मैं उसके लिए थेरेपिस्ट के पास क्यों जाऊँ? एंड क्या ही हो जाएगा, क्या क्या मैं खुद से सॉल्व नहीं कर सकता? बट व्हेन आई had a session with you, especially the way you broke the problem into smaller pieces. I think to solve a complex problem, that is the approach one should follow, even outside mental health therapy or any other space where you have a bigger problem to solve it. The best way is to divide it into small chunks and solve each chunk so that the entire problem.
वेरी ट्रू. एंड यूजुअली दीज मेंटल हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स का एक सीन ये होता है कि द प्रॉब्लम हाउ इट सीम्स एट द सर्फेस, इट इज़ वेरी मच डिफरेंट under the surface, as you have already seen it in your case. So usually it comes up like, yeah, I'm not able to sleep, या मेरे anger issues बहुत हो रहे हैं, या my husband or my wife is like, we are not having good relationship these days, we are fighting a lot. ये superficial level पर है. The underneath problem is something else. So if you do not seek help for this, look, there are two ways. Either solve it your way if you are able to, well and good. इफ़ यू आर नॉट एबल टू, अगर आप कहीं स्टक हो रहे हो, आपको लगता है कि आपकी डेली लाइफ में ये हिंडर कर रहा है, गो एंड सीक हेल्प. इसमें कोई शर्म की बात नहीं है, इसमें कोई वीकनेस का साइन नहीं है. It is in fact a sign of pride, I should say. You're taking a step for your own.
And I would like to tell everyone, because when I consulted you, it was such light-headed talk that I found you, very easy to talk to. You were a person I could open up a lot more. I would not open up with anyone so soon, because it was a session, I think it was a session of 40-45 minutes, whatever, around that. And in 40-45 minutes you knew so much about me, and it was hardly you spoke. You were speaking only the relevant part, and I was the one who was just
That is the agenda. That is the agenda, that when someone seeks help, or I should not exactly say seeks help, when somebody comes to me, right? I should not be the one talking, because I am not sitting here to give you advices. You already know about your life more than anyone else. I'm nobody to give you advices. What I can give you is some better insight. I can show you a mirror that, okay, this is how things look like. होता क्या है कि in mental health concerns, may it be overthinking, stress, anything, cluttering हो जाती है बहुत सारी. What a therapist like me does is, उन thoughts को निकाल करके reorganize करते हैं. We are not giving you any new thoughts. हम आपको कुछ भी नया नहीं दे रहे हैं. We are just making you, your own self, reorganize those
basically
thoughts.
you are trying to exercise the brain.
Exercise the brain. So look, there are different techniques we have been trained into. So one of the very famous technique जो सब लोगों ने सुनी होगी, it is NLP. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So it is all about rewiring your brain. It may sound a bit fancy, but then it is a real thing, and it does happens, and it works wonders.
So you did a course or a degree, or what did you do to practice?
Okay, so as you already know, I initially am from an engineering background. So I first of all pursued my master's into psychology. and masters was not enough, of course. So I got myself trained into 16 different psychotherapies. That includes around 350 techniques for different things. So using these techniques, and of course I'm still learning, so I'm upgrading my knowledge on a daily basis. Because one thing, you know, they say एक paracetamol सबके लिए काम नहीं करती है. So if there's one therapy, one thing, it won't work for you, it might work for somebody else. So might be आपके लिए मुझे कुछ और use करना पड़ेगा. So I have a
So if
treasure
I
box जिसमें बहुत सारी
okay,
techniques हैं.
if I understand you correctly, if I approach you and another person approaches you for the same problem, let's say overthinking, so even then the remedies would be different.
Yes, it would
Okay,
be different.
okay,
Yes.
nice. So it is not like you do a degree or a course and like you're done and you're just providing help. Are you constantly learning with the techniques that you are providing with the people, or you are trying to read on a daily basis? How do you learn?
Okay. So look, if you talk about eligibility criteria in India, so they just require a master's in psychology. That is the eligibility criteria as far as counseling psychology is concerned. So that is one thing that qualifies the criteria. But then one will have to think, is that enough? Because a number of universities and colleges are running this degree. For me, it was not enough, so I obviously went for a practical training program of that stretched up to 6-7 months, and there I learned a lot of techniques. So number one. Number two, yes, I'm still learning. I have been enrolled into several different programs still, so that I am able to upgrade myself on a daily basis. Number three, reading has always my thing, and nowadays reading what case studies have been there, what the world's best psychologists have been doing. I strongly follow this person, Tony
Tony
Robbins.
Robbins. Okay.
He's a very famous
Okay.
personality, and so I do follow him, and including him, a lot of other
There
people.
was this very famous psychologist, Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud, he's called as the god of psychology. He has given a lot of theories, because this is a science without a definition. They say about psychology. So if I have to define stress, I will define it one way. But if you have stress, you will define it
So
in
you've
your
read
own way.
him?
I have read a lot of things about Sigmund Freud, and most of this, a major part of the coursework that we do includes his studies, his theories, and all.
He's
So
a
yes.
very famous psychologist. I mean, obviously, people not into this space also have heard about him. So, as you said, yes, the god of psychology. From the number of people that visit you, mostly I would like to believe that they are from IT background. Is it safe to say that most of the people who visit you are from the IT background, or they are from?
Look, the thing is, you can say that number one, they are from IT background. But अभी क्या हो रहा है कि anything and everything is converting into that common corporate setup, be it IT or non-IT. If you go to schools also today, I know it from my experience. If you go to a well-reputed school also today, it will not look like a school apart from the
Obviously, the
classrooms.
schools have turned into a international setup, and they have given a corporate
The employees there, the
culture.
teachers there, they are completely running like a corporate setup. So it would not be. It is okay, but it is not just fair to say only IT employees. Pressure आजकल सब
Correct.
पर है.
Correct. Importantly, it was very important that you brought it up, because the IT is getting that image that we are only the ones who are being a pressure cooker for the people. But it's not like that. I mean, I know a lot of teachers who are under immense pressure and they work day and night, and it has been all because of the corporate culture which is getting involved. So the mass number of people who get affected in the mental well-being are from which age group, or I must say are from which management levels, high management level, leadership levels, or mid management levels, or the junior levels?
Okay, so I'll talk in terms of who all reach out to me because the figures might be different in these two cases. So I deal with people from the age of like 20, 25 up till to the age of 45, 50 years. Into this, so juniors are already sorted down. Leadership and mid-level employees are my bunch. Into these, I think both have equivalent amount of pressure or mental health concerns with them, but this mid-levels is slightly higher. It's slightly higher. They have valid reasons. The reasons are like they are standing at that point of time in their life, in their career, where a stagnancy comes in, right? They have already grown to up to a level, right? And they now need to enter the leadership or management level, right? There's a level of
या तो
stagnancy
अपस्किल
there.
करो नहीं
Num-
तो फिर हाँ
exactly. Otherwise you'll not be
grow.
able to grow, and that is not that you want. Number two, if we see behind the curtains, they are those people who have just got married or getting married, who are building their families. अभी family भी उस transition zone में होती है where a lot of things need to be managed, be it a man, be it a woman. So अभी वहाँ पर भी बहुत सारे disturbances या transitions होते हैं, should say. Balancing each and every part of your life at that level is a bit difficult for anybody. So that is why I say कि this mid-level section still ranks slightly higher in numbers.
मिड लेवल में वही होता है ना कि juniors who are reporting to you would be kicking you and obviously the leadership is kicking you. So you get compressed, and so I would like to believe that, you know, as you said, most of them are from the mid management level. So, apart from therapy, what do you think they should do? Do you think meditation would help people? Because there is this meditation is also growing a lot. People are talking about it. People are going to meditation centers. Should they start doing meditation? It can help them in any way, or is it totally different from the therapy? And what's your take on?
Okay, so meditation number one, I should say meditation has a different definition for everybody. So meditation in जो majorly जाना जाता है, it is like breathing exercises that we do. But meditation can be in any form. Whatever you do for your own peace without thinking about deadlines and pressures, that is meditation. It might be playing cricket, it might be reading a book or anything else, right? Now, meditation does help. What we follow as meditation into therapy, meditation is also an integral
Achha,
part of
you
therapy.
prescribe meditation also.
Yes, I do prescribe. I make my people do that inside a session of therapy. So yes, meditation does play a very important role, and somehow it just got underrated a while back, but then I'm happy it's coming back. Meditation, if specifically we are talking about breathing exercises, it should be a part of your daily life because it is all about brain when we are talking about breathing exercises. And brain ही तो है जिसको हम यहाँ solve करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. It just stabilizes your brain. एक तरह से reset button है वो. If you practice it in
It's
a daily
all
life.
about how much oxygen is reaching your brain and how much of the pure oxygen is reaching your brain.
Rather than doing the other stuff, like many people, alcohol का सहारा ले लेते हैं, कुछ लोग ओवर ईटिंग का सहारा ले लेते हैं. अभी क्या है, वो मेन प्रॉब्लम तो सॉल्व नहीं हुई, एक नई प्रॉब्लम इरप्ट हो गई दैट आई एम ओवर ईटिंग दीज डेज. अभी ओवर ईटिंग भी प्रॉब्लम है, फिर ओबेसिटी भी प्रॉब्लम है, अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम विद इरप्ट. रादर गो बैक एंड सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम द राइट वे.
So, when people approach you, let's say you would want to answer this question in a specific problem, or you would want to answer it for general problem. I leave it to you. But how do you basically? What is the process that you follow when someone approaches you with a mental health problem, and how do you take it forward? What do you do inside the therapy? And I know some part of it because I've had one session, but then if you would like to describe in brief.
An an interesting part. Rather, I should say everyone should know it. जो नहीं भी आया है कभी थेरेपी में उसको भी पता होना चाहिए, because अभी तक ये myth है society में that what do you do inside therapy? Talking? Should we pay you for talking? It's not about talking. So number one, what we do inside therapy is we provide a very safe and confidential space. As you already said, that you felt comfortable, and in those 45 minutes, you said a lot about yourself, right? So that is the space that I myself as a psychologist provide to my people, that they should come in and without of the pressure or thought that they will be judged or the information will be leaked or anything like that. I provide a safe space that they should say and think whatever they want to about themselves, about their concerns, whatsoever it is. Number two, we deep dive into exactly what are they looking for. So when a person comes to us, he might have 50 problems. But when we work, it may shrink down to just 2 problems, which are the root cause. ये काम होता है therapy के अंदर. Now, once we have figured out what the problem is, the goal has been set in one way. We work towards achieving the goal. How the goal is to be
Okay,
achieved.
so there are different stages, है ना? And in that sessions, it was not just talking or it was not just breaking the problem. वो scribble वाली एक exercise थी. क्या थी वो? नहीं मैं
Okay. So you are trying to understand the technique.
नहीं,
Prime. So
okay.
I'll tell you. That is a
Let me
very
put it
interesting
in
technique.
a different way. The scribble that you did, was that a usual scribble or it was a random scribble?
It was a very random scribble. I'll tell exactly what I did right from the starting. So it is a kind of a projective technique we use in side therapy. होता क्या है कि okay, I'll give you a metaphor here. If you're afraid of darkness, say a child, if he is afraid of darkness, उसको एक अंधेरे खाली कमरे में भी भूत दिख जाएगा. Is there a भूत? There is no भूत. यहाँ है भूत, वो दिख रहा है उसको. Project हो रहा है, right? That is what happens with scribble technique. When a client is not able to open up, वो exactly समझ नहीं पा रहा होता है मुझे क्या हो रहा है, मुझे बताना क्या है, खुद समझूंगा तब तो बताऊंगा. Therein we use a lot of projective techniques. One of it is that उस scribbling में you tend to see those objects, those figures from the subconscious part of your mind जो consciously आप aware भी नहीं हो.
And somebody can see something else, I can see something else, and that's the beauty of it. You know? Okay. So I would say that, you know, I loved it a lot, and I would like others to, you know, approach the therapists if at all. But along with the stigma, there was one more hurdle which many people face, and that is the cost associated with the therapy. So do you think that that cost would come down in future, or the cost would go up in future, or do you think whatever cost is there right now, that is the optimal cost, and that is the cost you are paying for the mental well-being of yourself, and it is not as much as you think it is to be?
Okay, so that is a very subjective kind of a topic or question, should say. These are people. We are people providing some service as our profession, right? It first of all, it cannot be measured into cost. You cannot ever measure a service with its cost, right? It depends upon which area you are in, what kind of therapy you are giving. So there are different therapists, right? Some are specialist in NLP, some are specialist in maybe hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy is a very interesting technique we apply. Hypnotherapy usually costs more than usual therapies. There are different people. Now, justifying the cost is something like when you go out to a restaurant, maybe once a week, you easily can spend thousands of bucks. This is something you are investing on your own self. It is just how you.
Why I ask that question is there would be people who would want to consult a specialist, but cost is something which is not allowing them. That is why.
Okay. So the answer to this is, suppose, I'm so sorry if anyone should not have this, but if someone is suffering from a chronic disease, would he look for the best doctor in the city, or would he look for the most economical doctor in the city?
I would
Number
look
one.
for a best doctor in the city.
Best doctor. number one is this, the priority case. But I do understand that there are people who cannot afford it. So there are different ways to go around it. Me as a therapist, and I believe most of the people who are into this profession, we are not only following this as a profession. I personally do have 5 sessions every month which are pro bono. Pro bono means with a very minimal cost involved or free of cost. This is for those people who are not able to bear the cost. But and also, if somebody comes to me, a recent incident happened. A student came to me from South India, and he was suffering from OCD and everything. After 2-3 clarity calls, we do have a clarity call before the actual sessions. He finally said, I understood that he was not able to bear the course, and that is one of the blockers he was having. Otherwise, he was genuinely interested to work on his mental health. So I provided him a pack of 10 sessions with bare minimum cost that I usually do not do with any of my clients. So that on this note, I think many of the people like me are working. That cannot be ever a blocker if somebody really wants to work on his own mental health. There are always ways. You know, the thing is not कि सामने कोई blocker है. The thing is यहाँ blocker होता है लोगों के. वो address नहीं कर पाते, वो approach ही नहीं करते हैं because they think बहुत महंगा होगा.
But until and unless you pay for it, or I would like to believe that until and unless there is a cost involved, you don't get serious about it.
Exactly, I do agree. So this was what I earlier said was what was about people who are actually not able to bear the cost. But then, if I consider that somebody can afford it but does not want to afford it, so you should work upon the ways you are looking at it. You are not giving that money to some other person. You are investing that money on your own fitness, that we call as mental fitness. And until and unless you invest on yourself, अगर आप जिम जाने लगो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, मे बी यू विल स्किप योर जिम डेज, मे बी ऑल्सो यू विल नॉट टेक केयर ऑफ योर डाइट. बट इफ यू आर पेइंग a good amount to go to gym, you have taken a membership, आप ज़्यादा serious.
I think that's why I did not come for the second session, because you said the first session was a pro bono. So, nahin, but honestly, I was a little busy. But yeah, so you talked about OCD. I would want to touch upon OCD for some few of the observations that I have made with people who have OCD. People with OCD are sometimes glorifying it a lot. They have a sense of false pride, saying that, you know, I have this OCD of cleaning, I have this OCD of this or that. But they fail to realize that ultimately it's a disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder. So it's a disorder. I would like you to, you know, clear whether OCD should be treated or it should be left.
It should never be left, since the name says it is a disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder. Why should
No,
it be
because
left ever?
they feel that, you know, since
They feel
since
that they are just drawing benefit out of it. Or OCDs can be of different types, you know, not just about cleaning. That is the most common one we know. It can be about various other things. So yes, about cleaning, people लोग आम भाषा में बोल देते हैं कि आई हैव OCD, मतलब भी नहीं पता होता है OCD का. So OCD is just not कि if you are, I am also very much specific about cleaning my home, keeping my surroundings organized, but I don't have OCD. So every urge to clean or organize your things is not OCD. It should be properly organized. It should be properly diagnosed. So you cannot decide by yourself if you have OCD, if you have stress, if you have anxiety. Just like OCD, anxiety भी बहुत common language में आजकल use होने लगा है. Every other person, my daughter was saying to me one day, Mama, I'm having stress.
how old is she?
She is 7 years old. She does not even know properly what stress
Class
does
7 में
mean.
हमें कहाँ पता था, स्ट्रेस का मतलब भी नहीं पता था.
Age 7,
Class
class third.
third, sorry.
Yes. So, and not just kid, trust me, the elder people are also doing the same. They are using this term so in general that iska actual gist has been lost. So coming back to the OCD thing, not everything people do around is OCD. Number one, it should be diagnosed properly. Number two, there's nothing to take pride about it. अगर कोई ले रहा है तो ठीक
Maybe
fine.
because they don't know. whether they have the OCD or not, or maybe I would say it's a lack of information that people don't consider it as a disorder.
Taking pride or not is completely their choice, but I'm happy that they are at least, if they really have OCD, that they are at least addressing it. Ki I have OCD. Okay, since it is a disorder, the first step to address it is to recognize it. So I'm happy they're addressing it, and maybe at a later stage they should go ahead and seek therapy for that as well and get it correct.
Okay, so when people approach you, you said you take some time to diagnose the problem also initially. Um, Generally, how much time does it take to diagnose a problem and then arrive at a solution in general?
So, look, the things work like as we did together in your therapy session, that we deep dig down the problem. ऊपर से superficially the problem may be just कि I am not able to sleep or something, but underneath कुछ और होगा, वो deep drilling से आती है. That is also a part of training that I have gone through Socratic questioning and many other things. Number two is, if it is all about OCD or stress or anxiety, there are a number of assessments, licensed assessments, you can say sometimes. Those are being followed. I'll give you a set of maybe 10 questions to fill up, or not even give, sometimes just ask. And basis upon that, what have you answered like, I'll give you a score, and according to that, it will be decided that if you really have stress or not, if you really have anxiety or not. It is just not that I'll say you have
Okay,
anxiety.
so which is that problem in mental health which takes most of the time in diagnosing? Which is that complex problem?
I cannot say just one, because diagnosis is something. Maybe if I go ahead and diagnose a person, he might come up with a number of problems also. So वो interrelated भी होती हैं. One problem is affecting the other. Now, since you were talking about self-confidence, self-confidence does not root itself like in the same form. Self-confidence arises from overthinking. It arises from stress. So number one step would be, I would go to the root problem, right? Overthinking here is the root problem. We will go ahead and try to solve the root problem, that is the overthinking. Once overthinking comes to below that level of severity, might be confidence levels अब तक अपने आप बढ़ चुका होगा. And whatever is remaining, there are different therapeutic techniques or modalities that we apply and solve that as well.
So basically, what you are saying, if I understand correctly, there might be an overthinking vertical in which overthinking, self confidence, self esteem, that would be related. One would be a root problem, one would be a problem because of the other. So in that vertical also, it might take 10 days for one person to diagnose, but 1 day for other person to diagnose. And similarly for other vertical like OCD, it might take, one day for some and 10 days for.
Okay, so yes, first of all, you're true that it might take different time, different number of sessions for different people to diagnose. And OCD, etc., are something like we can straight away get to the assessment part, and to a major level, we can diagnose what it is. OCD ki wajah se, there are different other consequences of OCD, like being anxious, being, catastrophic. So those are different part, but then those are what have stemmed from OCD. सो इस OCD को रूट कॉज को अगर हमने डायग्नोज भी कर लिया, सॉल्विंग इट इज़ ईजियर, एंड देन सॉल्विंग द सुपरफिशियल इशूज, इट इज़ ऑलवेज द टिप ऑफ द आइसबर्ग एज दे से. इट इज़ ऑलवेज ईजियर टू सॉल्व दैट.
And how do you see now the chat GPT and the AI kicking in? How do you see, till what extent do you see that these engines would be helping humans going forward? Do you think that the role of therapists would be reduced, or you think that more therapists would be required in the future?
Okay. So not just AI. AI plays a very major role. The things that are already running, and on top of it, there is AI now. Initially, what I have seen people, they take every other help from AI, chat GPT. Initially, it seems like it is a helper, but in the longer run, it is making us paralyzed. Yes. So mentally also people are just becoming paralyzed. Already we are living in that scenario that we are not getting socialized much because of a number of issues. And now with the advent of AI, जो थोड़ा बहुत हम सबसे बात कर लेते थे, suggestions ले लेते थे, we are not even going to do that. So initially it looks like a friend, but अगर आप उसको use करते रहें for a couple of weeks, months, you will be more alone. Human touch will
Yeah,
not
so
be
you
there.
believe in human touch, right? I mean, you believe in every profession there should be a human touch, and AI should be there to help people, obviously, to increase productivity and all. Even I find it really helpful in my job. I've started using AI, but then there is a human intervention, I feel, in my job. It is required, and especially when I was researching on mental health, I went to ChatGPT and I asked for, I searched for my overthinking thing on the AI. The first response it gave me was to consult a therapist. So obviously it has not matured as yet, but do you think it will be ever able to mature as much to act as a therapist? Or even, let's say, tomorrow they come up with a robot or a robotic machine who would artificially apply intelligence to solve a problem. Would it be a thing of the future, do you think? Or
To a greater extent, these people are trying to replace every other profession with AI. I don't know what the future holds. But then, human has always been a social animal. And human has been a social animal. Those social things cannot be replaced by machines. It can give you solutions, but it will only give you the solution for the prompt you are giving it to. जो भी आप लिख रहे हो, टाइप कर रहे हो, बोल रहे हो, that is the prompt. But then what about what is running inside your mind? What is your subconscious mind
yeah, and
saying?
that's how humans are designed, right? Because we are not designed to just sit at home and use machines and let them do all the things. I don't think that disruption. I don't think it will disrupt the humans first, and then if you bring all the machinery in, then what would humans do? And
That is something unnatural if it does happen. There's a recent Bollywood movie made on the same topic wherein there was a robo operating as a girl and a guy fell in love with this robo because she has been designed that way that that guy likes her. All his likes were already prompted to this robo female.
and as soon as he got to know that was a robo, all the feelings subsided for some time, and then they re-erupted. So yeah. Then, to conclude now, I would like to ask, what all things do you provide as therapist in your sessions? I think you do premarital counseling as well. You would want to touch upon the things that you provide a service on.
All right. So for now, I am giving online therapy so that I can reach to maximum people I could. Of course, face-to-face therapy is also available, but that is a secondary option. Talking about the kind of therapies I provide, so I give help. I help people with majorly professionals between the age of 25 to 45, 50 years, working professionals, non-working professionals, women, everyone who are going through this stress, anxiety, overthinking, OCD kind of things, self-esteem. And yes, premarital counseling is one of my specific areas that I work with people because I really, trust the fact that premarital counseling is very much important in today's.
It has, the marriage dynamics have changed a lot from our time. I mean, people whom I meet or get in touch with, they come up with really, really weird problems, and they are not actually problems. So they are just trying to complicate things. Next time we meet, we'll just keep these topics to discuss more. बहुत सारी बातें करनी है अभी. This is just the start, and it's such a diverse topic. I just love to talk about it. And maybe next time when we meet, we would see like how you have evolved as a coach and what all you have learned over the year and what you would like to advise. So on that note, it was lovely meeting you, lovely talking to you, lovely learning from you, and hope we meet again soon. Yeah.
Yes, of course, we would meet again. And thank you so much, Akash, for providing this platform wherein I'm able to reach not just a handful of people, but a larger number of crowd through you. So, yes, thank you. And I hope this mental health thing reaches a lot of people and the stigma lowers down. So, yes, I'm really
Pleasure is
thankful.
all mine. Thank you, Sarika. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.